All right, guys, I just finished putting this thing together, and I was getting ready to put it away, put it in my little bin. You know, I'm in my bin full of stuff, and you know what? I decided, man, I need to go ahead and make a video on this. MCD limited slip. Let's do it. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel, yo. I had a lot of guys ask me about this. This is the internals of an MCD diff. Doesn't matter if it's front, rear, or center. It's going to look something like this. This is a limited slip MCD internals. Just going to do like a little once over, and I'm going to put this thing together for you guys so you can actually see what goes on inside this MCD diff. Like I said, there is no oil. No oil goes inside here, so there is no gaskets or anything like that. You have an O-ring basically for keeping the grease inside the diff. This is the grease you use. Well, I mean, this is the MCD grease that they use. All right, just some green grease, similar to the Fast Eddies. Was it red and tacky? This sticks very well, so I like using this with my MCD diffs. It costs a little bit, but to me, a little bit goes a long way, and it's worth it. All right, here is the diff cup. This is a steel diff cup. MCD also comes in, you can get the alloy ones or the plastic ones. This is a steel diff cup. It has 4 posts on the inside, right? These 4 posts are what support your ramp and your, I guess that's like a diff shim or so. That's what supports these. These come out, you can pull these out. Well, sometimes you gotta kind of knock them out, but you can pull these out. Like for instance, if you need to wash this out or something like that, but you can pull these 4 posts out. And then this is a steel diff cup. All right. You have your Outdrive cup. That's your Outdrive cup here. These are different. Now this is the one for the front or rear. So there is a difference for the center. All right. You have this is my 39 tooth front or rear drive ring gear for the front or rear differential. We have O-ring similar to a Losi that goes in first. We have a washer that goes on next, similar to a Losi. We have a hex disc, I guess you call it, that goes on next. Now this hex right here, take a look at that, because you'll see this something else with the hex on it in a minute. So the hex will go on next. We have your I guess you call this like a post shim or so. That goes on next. You have another hex disc. That will be on next. On top of all that, you have your ramp. This is the ramp. I know you hear people talk about the ramp. You know, is it 90-degree ramp, 60-degree ramp, 120-degree ramp? Now, as you can see, this has the holes where it slides down on those posts that I showed you in the diff cup. Now, if you look closely, let's see if I can get that for you guys. It says 120 here. The opposite end says 120 also. And 90 on the other opposite ends at 90 degrees of it. So you got 90 here and 120 on both ends. That lets you know how aggressive you want your bite to be. So you take your center spider axle, spider gears or so, and you rest it on here. If you rest it this way, it's set at 120 degree ramp. If you rest it this way, it's set at 90-degree ramp. It's that simple, guys. It's really not that difficult, which makes it so awesome. I mean, so awesome at a track. If you're at a track You may change your diffs up because it's a little too aggressive or something, or not aggressive enough. You can pull this thing out, flip it around, 120-degree ramp, you're good to go if you was on 90. If you was at 90, you can flip it around, put it on 120, you're good to go. Put it back together. No oil to get everywhere and have to make sure you got, 9,000, get all the bubbles out, or, 1 million and, take forever for that to settle. Nah, none of that. But, so you get the ramp. You have your Outdrive gear. Now this one still has grease on it. This is what it looks like without the grease on it. Now, if you look, there's that hex I was talking about. So this hex here will fit down inside that. And this what gives you your bite. Now, another way of looking at it, you can also adjust these by how much bite you want. Like say you want the most aggressive bite. This will have 2 hexes and then the post shim, right? But say you wanted less aggressive bite, you would have 1 of these, but 2 of the post shims. Or if you want a limited slip, but let's say for on-road use, you want that rear end loose to get you around the turns. Well, that's going to have just 3 of these. No bite at all. So that's the beauty of MCD. I mean, people talk about how MCD is expensive, overrated. When you look at it, it's built for racing. I mean, really built for racing. So that's it. I mean, I got my screws here. These screws right here will hold on the your crown gear to the diff cup. And that's it, man. And then you got your bearings on the back of the diff cup. And then you would have a bearing here on the back of your sun gear. So once you get all that assembled, all it is, put some grease in there in between. I always put grease in between my my shims and my hex disc. Put a little bit of grease on top of the gears, turn it around, and that's it, guys. I mean, it really is not, it's not difficult. And the ingenuity and the design that was incorporated in this is just crazy. Of course, I got all my parts, like I said, for this build at Cardinal Racing. They always look out for me when it comes to my parts, when it comes to rebuilds and stuff like that. Now, this one I'm going to build as a 120-degree ramp with the extra bite. So I want this diff to be really, really aggressive. Let's get at it, man. All right. Got your O-ring. Put your O-ring in the diff cup. It's got a little groove down inside there. Line that up. Next up, we got the shims. Put a little bit of grease on here. So just stick that in there like such. Make sure it fits. Actually, and put a little bit of grease behind this so it stays together. Fits right down in there. Make sure it goes all the way. So y'all can see that. Make sure it goes all the way in. It's just flush. Just like that. Slide it in. All right, so we got that in there. I had to actually put some force on there to get that down in there, but we got it in there. Next up, like I said, is the ramp, which is here. Slides. If I put some little bit of grease on here. Back side of this ramp. Put this these spider gears in here on the 120 ramp. Line it up. Slide this down in here. Simple as that. Put some grease on here. Same thing on here, put some grease on here. Maybe on this one, put some grease on this one. A little bit of grease on the back side of this gear. Slide it in. Make sure all everything lines up. You're going through both hex, which you can see on that, right there. See on that? See how the hex is coming through? That means we're all the way through. We have the crown gear. Lubricate the washer. Lubricate the O-ring. Put the O-ring in. Lubricate the washer. We'll slide that down over here. Let's put a little bit of grease down in there. Don't need to go crazy, but we definitely need some grease down in there. We'll turn the spider gears by turning this Outdrive cup. Get some good grease down in there. Like I said, you can use a syringe to get down in there real good, but we don't have that right now, so. We'll just do a good job of making sure we get some grease in there. All right, so next up we have the ramp. Make sure we put it down on 120. That should fit on. Next up we have the gears, the Outdrive. Make sure your hex comes all the way through, all the shims. We'll just slide that right down on top. Like such. Clean my hands. All right, so here we are next. We have the ring gear. The inner holes are for the pins on the diff cup, and the outer holes are for your screws. Simple as that. Make sure you put a little bit of grease on this shaft, Outdrive shaft, so it doesn't damage the O-ring. And then we should be able to just slide, line up your holes, slide this right on. Like that. Put 4 screws in it. We're almost done. Loctite. I just use blue for the diffs. Get all of them started. All right, so that's it. We gotta put the cups on, but let's check and make sure everything moves free before we do that. Yep, nice and smooth. Nice aggressive bite to it. Nice and smooth though. No binding issues or nothing like that. All right, so there it is. You know, we got this set up for front or rear diff. This is a front or rear diff Outdrive cup. It's round and as opposed to being triangular for the center diff. All right, and we got the 4mm pins. Real simple. We'll put this on. Line up the holes. Drop the pin in. And then we'll tap that down. Repeat for this side, which I can't find my cup, so I gotta look for this side. But y'all get it, man. It's real simple. I mean, really, it ain't much to this. It's simple design. It's similar to a Losi. So you will get familiar with it when it comes to a couple O-rings and stuff like that, and Outdrive cups, the way it mounts on, the bearings, the way they go on, things like that. But I mean, it's obvious that this is not similar in internal aspects of the Losi, because it's very easy to work on. I mean, if you're in a crunch and you need to replace something inside here or change, like I said, how aggressive this thing handles, or you want to make it looser because it's a little too aggressive going into turns or something like that and it's pushing, you can change it in a matter of 15, 20 minutes. But that's it, man. You know, this is the limited slip diff. If you got any questions, put it down in the comments below. If I missed something, you know, maybe I didn't talk enough on it for you guys, hit me up in the comments. Like I said, man, if you need any help, holler at me. You can always hit me on Messenger, or you can email me, crucial118@yahoo.com. But beautiful piece. Like I said, once again, thanks to Cardinal Racing for supplying me with this. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right? Thanks for watching, guys. Out.